Bella, a powerful CEO, had just returned to attend her son Jason's engagement party. Unexpectedly, a simple post from Jason on social media was misunderstood by his fiancée, Lilith, who thought he was seeing another woman. Furious, she called him, demanding an explanation. Jason denied the accusation and hung up. Lilith, who had worked hard to secure her position in a wealthy family, wasn't going to let anything ruin the engagement. Meanwhile, Jason, concerned for his jet-lagged mother, took her to a hotel to rest. This moment was captured by Lilith's friend, who quickly sent the photo to Lilith. Mistakenly thinking Jason had taken his mistress to a hotel, Lilith flew into a rage. She instructed her friend to follow Jason and find out the room number, ready to confront the mistress. Lilith then gathered her group of friends and stormed off to catch them in the act. After settling his mother in the room, Jason left. Hiding in the shadows, Lilith and her friend watched, their suspicions deepening. Lilith's friend concluded that Jason must have just spent the night with his mistress, fueling Lilith's anger. Inside the hotel room, Bella was admiring the gifts she had prepared for her future daughter-in-law, a villa deed and rare gemstones, worth over 200 million, when there was a knock on the door. Thinking it was Jason returning, she opened the door, casually saying, "Sweetheart," which instantly ignited Lilith's fury. She slapped her and ordered her friends to drag Bella out. Consumed by hatred, Lilith even planned to sell Bella to a brothel after she and Jason got married. The group began viciously attacking Bella, venting their rage with punches and kicks. Bella, stunned by the misunderstanding, tried to explain. She pulled out her phone to show proof, but the photos of her with Jason only enraged Lilith further. Seeing the close pictures of Bella and Jason, Lilith completely lost control, convinced that Bella was the mistress ruining her happiness. In a fit of madness, Lilith ordered her friends to strip Bella and cruelly began recording videos. Bella struggled desperately, screaming, "I'm Jason's mother." But her cries were met with Lilith's cold laughter. Some of Lilith's friends began to worry, what if Bella was telling the truth? But Lilith quickly dismissed their concerns, sneering, "Jason told me his mother wouldn't arrive until tonight. This woman is clearly lying." Her confidence silenced the others, and their brutality escalated. Just then, Lilith's phone rang. It was Jason. Bella, hearing this, tried to call for help, but the group blocked her. After a few moments, she coldly ordered, "Drag this woman to the banquet hall." Lilith decided that Jason's mother would personally punish the woman she believed was a mistress. At the engagement party, Lilith's friends and family were celebrating, and her mother was basking in the praise of others, proud that her daughter was about to marry into wealth. Just then, Lilith stormed into the hall with Bella in tow, pointing at her and shouting, "This is Jason's mistress." The room erupted in outrage, and people began beating Bella without hesitation. The scene became chaotic as Lilith's parents, enraged on behalf of their daughter, joined in the attack, striking Bella mercilessly. In the chaos, Bella's bag was knocked over, spilling out the deed to a villa and priceless gemstones. Seeing this, Lilith assumed these were assets the mistress had swindled from Jason and became even more furious. Her parents urged her to destroy the items, determined not to let the mistress profit from her lies. As Lilith prepared to tear up the deed and destroy the gifts, Bella desperately shouted, "You'll regret this." But Lilith only sneered and continued. At that moment, Bella started to regain clarity through the confusion. She had originally thought this was just a misunderstanding and had believed her future daughter-in-law was a kind, gentle person. But seeing the true nature of Lilith, her family, and their friends, Bella realized they were anything but good people. She silently vowed that she would not let these people deceive her son. Suddenly, a photo fell from Bella's bag, catching everyone's attention. It was a cherished picture of her and her late husband, their only photo together. But the cruel crowd picked it up and mocked her, showing no respect. Lilith triumphantly held the photo up, ready to tear it apart. Seeing this, Bella pleaded desperately, "Please, give me the photo back." Her voice was filled with helplessness and anger, but Lilith ignored her and ripped the photo into pieces. Enraged, Bella tried to fight back, but Lilith's mother struck her hard, knocking her unconscious. The atmosphere in the hall turned icy as the crowd briefly feared they had killed her. Fortunately, Bella had only fainted. To cover up their violent actions, Lilith's friends hurriedly hid Bella in a storage room. Not long after, Jason arrived at the engagement party, greeted with congratulations from all sides. However, Lilith, still furious, immediately confronted him about the mistress and demanded an explanation. Jason sincerely denied having any affair and asked Lilith if she had picked up his mother yet. Lilith, convinced Jason was lying, scoffed and said, "I've already caught your mistress. I'm just waiting for your mother to come and deal with her for me." Jason was growing more confused, and Lilith pointed to the torn-up deed and shattered gemstones, believing they were proof that Jason had given these to the mistress. As the property deed and gems were mentioned, Jason began to sense something was wrong. He asked Lilith whose belongings they were. Lilith, still smirking, replied that they had been taken from the mistress. Lilith's friends began accusing Jason, pointing to the shattered fragments in the hall, claiming they were proof of his affair. Jason's fury ignited when he saw the torn photo and coldly demanded, "Where is the woman in that picture?" Lilith smiled and said dismissively, "Don't worry, I know you were fooled by that married woman. I've already taught her a lesson for you. Just don't cheat again, okay?" At that moment, a faint sound came from the storage room, catching Jason's attention. He rushed over, opened the door, and found Bella, severely injured and barely conscious. Seeing his mother battered and bruised, Jason's heart shattered. "Mom," he whispered, his voice full of anguish. The entire room fell silent, shocked by the revelation. Jason quickly arranged for his mother to be taken to safety, but he stayed behind, determined to get to the bottom of what happened. Lilith, realizing her dream of marrying into wealth was over, was paralyzed with fear. No one in the hall dared admit their involvement in the violence. Furious, Jason turned on Lilith, vowing to make her pay for what she had done to his mother. Terrified, Lilith dropped to her knees, begging for forgiveness, explaining that it was all a misunderstanding based on a social media post. Jason sneered, "If she really was my mistress, who would be bold enough to post that on social media?" Lilith was left speechless, and the crowd quickly chimed in, agreeing that it must have been a mistake. But Jason's expression remained cold as he scanned the room, his voice deep and seething with anger. This wasn't a misunderstanding. This was a crime. Just then, Bella reappeared, stopping Jason from acting impulsively. She calmly said that such a woman wasn't worth dirtying his hands for. Jason then demanded to see the security footage, wanting to witness firsthand the cruelty inflicted on his mother. He made it clear that those responsible would face consequences. Lilith immediately fell to her knees again, pleading for mercy, sobbing that it was all just a misunderstanding. Looking at the absurd scene in front of her, Bella calmly revealed the truth to Lilith. She explained that the torn deed and the priceless gemstones were gifts she had carefully prepared for the engagement party. Since the gifts were never given, the assets still belonged to her. Without hesitation, Bella announced that she would be suing Lilith and her friends for maliciously destroying her property. The value of the gifts was $600 million, and she demanded full compensation. Panic washed over Lilith as she faced the massive debt. She immediately turned to Jason, begging for mercy, trying to play the role of the sympathetic fiancé. But Jason simply laughed coldly and, without hesitation, announced the engagement was off. Standing beside him, Bella, as both Jason's mother and the head of the family company, firmly echoed her son's decision. The engagement was officially cancelled. Desperate, Lilith suddenly stood up, claiming she was pregnant with Jason's child in a last-ditch attempt to salvage the situation. Bella, hearing this, hesitated for a moment, considering the possibility of a grandchild and wondering if peace could be restored. However, Jason remained resolute. "A woman who can treat my mother this way cannot be trusted." Just then, a doctor arrived and confirmed that Lilith was indeed pregnant. People around started urging reconciliation, claiming it was all just a misunderstanding. However, Jason remained calm, stating that while he would take responsibility for the child, he would never marry Lilith. Bella sensed something was off. Lilith had seemed panicked before the doctor's confirmation but suddenly became calm after. Growing suspicious, Bella requested a paternity test, but the doctor explained that the pregnancy was still too early for testing. At that moment, Jason's assistant arrived with the surveillance footage. The video showed Lilith and her group of friends violently attacking his mother. Furious, Jason decided to press charges against them. Panic spread among Lilith's friends, and they began turning on each other, afraid of going to jail and eager to shift the blame. As one of Lilith's friends was being escorted away by security, she shouted that she knew Lilith's biggest secret. Hearing this, Lilith became frantic, engaging in a physical struggle with her friend. To everyone's shock, the friend revealed a bombshell. Lilith had been seeing other men throughout her relationship with Jason, and the baby wasn't even his. She claimed to have recordings as proof and even gave Jason the name of Lilith's lover. The guests, now concerned about being dragged into the scandal, quickly began leaving the party. Just then, Jason's assistant and the security team brought in a man, the lover. Lilith, desperate to salvage the situation, tried to deny everything. However, the lover's phone contained incriminating videos of him and Lilith, exposing the truth once and for all. Without hesitation, Jason ordered the security team to escort Lilith and her lover to the police. In the aftermath, Bella watched the scene unfold, calmly telling Jason that she would no longer interfere in his relationships, but that he should choose a partner with integrity in the future. Jason promised his mother that he would never get involved with a mistress and vowed to protect the family's honor.